A sophomore from Toronto, Ontario, Burgh, on left lane and junior, the Beverly on right lane, a senior in front of number 11, Penn, a senior from Consolation, Colorado, number 19, and to bring the punch of freshman from Commerce, Michigan, number 37, now, for today's home team, on the bench, a senior from Rochester, New York, number 13, on the bench, a junior from Eden, Minnesota, number 26, on the bench, a senior from Minnesota, number 20, on right lane, a junior from Newcastle, Ontario, number 14, at center and sophomore from Airport, New York, number 11, Penn. And he's leading the play for sophomore from Wyoming, Minnesota, number 30, Josie Moffett. UPSC Sports Center NCAA promote good partnership by student athletes, coaches, and fans. The impressive cooperation and support of student athletes, officials, and Plaza Mayor, prohibiting derogatory comments and other intimidating actions directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, or the fans are not tolerated quickly or removed. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a safe and positive game environment. Respect is the name of the game. Now we ask that we all rise and jump every night as we honor America with the play, the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran down the bombs bursting in air, giving proof through the night that our light was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave.
Good. Welcome you back to the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry, Pennsylvania for Day 2 of the 2022 installation of the Battle at the Burgh tournament. Starting us off today is a consolation matchup between the Boston University Terriers and the Penn State Lions. Welcome in, everybody, to Penn State Prime Radio's coverage of Penn State women's hockey, and also our viewers joining us on the simulcast at How Hockey Live on YouTube. I'm Andre Rivera, joined alongside by Evan Gonzalez. Evan, these are two teams that obviously lost their semifinal matchups yesterday by very narrow margins in heartbreaking fashion, and are looking to rebound. Is now there's something you're out of the week.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for both teams, Andre, that they couldn't make it to the championship match. Both putting on great fights. Kind of different stories, though. Boston was trailing in their game against Syracuse, battled all the way back, got into overtime, followed by a shootout, which they sadly lost in their case. Penn State was the opposite. They were holding the lead in their game against St. Cloud State, and then eventually blew that. So both teams coming into this game, you know, a little bit on the downside, trying to get a bounce-back win here, but coming from different sides.
You think this is just a consolation game that doesn't mean much? Think again, teams looking for a marquee out-of-conference win. They're both over 500, both teetering on that bubble trying to make the NCAA tournament. They could use a big win here today should they not follow through with their conference title. Penn State in their road Navy uniforms, Boston in the red and white, underway at the U Sports Complex. Penn State wins the opening faceoff, works right to left. Yards in an early shot, gloved off the stick, and comfortably caught by the goaltender for the Terriers, Callie Shanahan, the freshman 5'10" from Commerce, Michigan. So far this season, 5-1 with a 183 goals against and a .932 save percentage. On the other end, Josie Balfin for the Nittany Lions has started every game in net for them, 10-62, a .917 save percentage, and goals against 1.89. She started the game yesterday with the Nittany Lions falling to St. Cloud State in quarter 3 in overtime. Tie up to the right of Shanahan, won by Penn State behind the goals. And Burrows in deep, try to win the puck back, gets it out to captain Natalie Heising. Heising skates in, near side face-off dot. Initial shot blocked, it's a rebound line, it's locked. Shanahan trying to scramble on the puck. Still inside, and the defensive score! A net front scramble, and Penn State capitalizes. It's Julie Goff, who's been a catalyst for this Penn State team. She's back on the top line. Has her 9th goal of the season, hooking it in backdoor on Shanahan to make it 1-0. Penn State just 30 seconds in.
Penn State bringing the fight early there, Andre, and just chucking away at that puck right in front of the goal. Shanahan doing everything she could, but Julie Goff continuing to fight and finally pops it in there. Just 30 seconds in.
Julie Goff had the Nittany Lions off and running a night ago. A power play goal just 4 minutes into the contest against St. Cloud State. And she is back at it again. We mentioned back on the top line, Coach Jeff Campersaw scrambling the lines a little bit. He puts Goff back with Sandin and Heisman on the top unit for Penn State after Machado had been there a night ago, and it immediately pays dividends for the 6th-year head coach for the Nittany Lions. Off the tie-up, Boston University comes back, wins the draw. Penn State and the left to right, puck loose in the neutral zone, and it'll be scooped up by Nadia Mativi. Comes in deep, open, passes behind her cage, it's Vinegar, retrieve the puck for the Nittany Lions. Up the far side, half wall, puck roll to Olivia Waldine. Penn State gets swung out for center, but then Boston takes it back on. TV again, puts it in deep. The Terriers working on the side. Only as far as center. The Terriers shootout loss yesterday to Lincoln. Records again, first period, so 1-0 Penn State. Lincoln now in deep for Boston has it behind the Penn State goal. Arches with it near side, being shorted up the puck by 2 Nittany Lions. One of them, Carrie Burns. Get it back to the point where Calder can bounce it back in. There's Martin back in her front off the right pad of Buffett. Drops back out to her left, where it's picked up by Rachel Weiss. And momentarily, Heminger and Garcia back over behind the goal. Penn State's get it back to the point, then successfully cleared his own. We're back up towards the point once again, and luckily the puck comes through. Both shimmies it aside with her right pad. Up along the Penn State bench, and runs to through Machado. Penn State trying to break out quickly. Gliding across the neutral zone, Carrie Burns. Takes Bard in near side, now picks back up in the face-off dot, skates around the cage, being shielded away from the goal. She ultimately takes a tumble in the corner before Maeve Connolly to pick it up. She's off goes connected to the point for Lindy Lobdell. Across the road to the corner, Avery Mitchell whistling. Wrister that goes wide to the left of Shanahan's net. Penn State comes it back into the zone. Now far side into line, working over into the slot. Back to Connolly. Her back hitter goes wide, picked up behind the cage by Shiroki. Shiroki flubs a weak back in with the long goal. Never got all the way through the force of bodies. Just pop that down the center. Austin will dump and chase Caroline James. Mitchell has it now for Penn State behind their goal. 32 to go. She turns it over in deep. Jumps from an outboard angle. Slides by Buffett, who's down in the butterfly on her left-hand side. Penn State trying to clear. Let's work back forward. Across to the far side, well, there's plenty of vacant ice for Amy Dobson to make it up the boards. That center ice now repossessed by the Terriers. And Julia Nearest quickly turns it over, heading towards the Penn State bench. A loose puck at center ice. Huge stretch pass forward. Here's McKenna Parker, lacing up the right wing. Button hooks back and face off that, now skates around Mitchell. Hooks it into the center. Quick find, Rupert for the line mate. And now Penn State has it through Heising. Heising speedily up the left-hand side as Gangarosa sweeping towards the middle. Heising back here to 1 foot. Tip by Gangarosa, save, rebound off to the left. Getting bounced out by Shanahan, who stopped the play. 16:53 to go, still 1-0 Penn State.
Both sides getting some offensive zone time there and putting some quality shots on net, but both goaltenders standing on their heads early on here, and both goaltenders underclassmen, freshmen on the Boston side and sophomore in Josie Bobbin.
Penn State wins its 3rd draw already for the Zane. Can't work across ice. It's intercepted by the Terriers and their captain, Kaylee Donald. Our attempted breakout quickly stopped by the combination of Zandon and Heising. It's Zandon right wing, skating onto the backhand around one defender. Now loose behind the goal. Gangarosa before tailing for it at the near point. Work D to D, now quickly gets it back from Mount or Ulan. Gangarosa near dot to Zandon, into the middle, got the shot. Safe Shanahan, rebound, scramble, but doesn't know where the puck is. And off the loose scramble, it comes back free to Donnelly once more. He has it on the near side, worked back upwards, suckered along by Christina Vogt. Vogt skating through the slot. Gangarosa muscles her off the puck. Now back to the Penn State end, 16:50 to go, first period. Nittany Lions trying to break out, holding on to its 1-0 lead. Long shift for that top line of forwards. Moss trying to kick the puck out of the zone, but can only get as far as the point. Vogt backs back in deep. On the dasher now, looking for Austin. Boston gets the change. They turn the puck over to Olivia Wallin. Wallin takes up the board, skates past one. Down the right wing, working through a check of one Boston defender, and now can get it back into the near corner. Ultimately forced off the puck by Giacchino. Now back up to the point for Heminger. Heminger risks through traffic, deflection in front. Massive was crashing into the slot, but ultimately Shanahan, calm and collected, gloved down on the puck. 15:41 to go. 1-0 Penn State. Offensive zone draw up coming from the Nittany Lions.
It feels like Jeff Kemp Purcell's going to be rolling out that first line a ton today, putting Julie Goff up there. He just wants to bring that superstar line on as much as possible.
Off this tie up to the left of Shanahan. Boston moves a draw. Here's Boone through center. Gallivan forward. Duncan chasing into Penn State end. Went over him deep. Martin has it behind the goal. Tries to work out a center. Casters off the side of the page behind Boston, hugging her near post. Never got all the way through, and Badir then moves it back out to the Boston end. Terriers, though, are back defensively. Quito has it once more. Still looking quarterback for us for the Terriers. 15-14 to go, first period. 1-0 Penn State. An early goal, 30 seconds in for Julie Goff with even strength. Got the scoring started. Here's Rachel Weiss. Through the neutral zone, Shelton loses her edge, and Rich can take it back for the Terriers. Now into the Penn State and down right wing. The shot from McKenna Parker blocked in front. Rebound try is also blocked by Carrie Burns. Rebound Queens all the way back down to the Boston end. March picked up through Mativi. He goes D to D with Hansel. He looks at 200 feet ice behind the BU goal. Boston struggling to break out on their own end. A high line played by Penn State as they get the puck back in deep once more. 14:38 to go, first period. Mativi over behind the goal. Burns back checking her. Eventually Parker gets skate towards center ice. Buzz is there. Attempted center pass cut off on Machado. Mitchell back defensively for Penn State. Gets it to Burns. Burns sockets it towards her stick. Overplays it slightly. There's Poole. The Terriers in their own end. Off that loose puck scramble. 14-18 first period. In the neutral zone. Draws in and nearly lassos it in. Then plays back to her Team USA and Lion teammate Lindy Lobdell, who loses the edge. Turn around behind the goal. Turn around top from Poole. Skated behind the cage up to the right of Buck, who was hugging her near post. Made the butterfly save. Attempted cross ice stretch pass for Natalie Heising, who was down the length of the ice. Heising wins the race, no icing. 13:58 to go. Penn State with it in the BU end with a 1-0 lead. This top line got the scoring started for the Nittany Lions. Goff tried to center for Zanin. It was cut out by Fulham after a long shift. They look to get it out and go in for a change. Washington gets the puck to the neutral zone. Here's Christina Vogt. Vogt skates laterally through center, banks it off the board, sees that line change for the Terriers. Baldwin pauses behind her cage. Ulan tried to play up the board, instead it's turned over in deep. Giacchino attempted to get one through the center. An outstretched stick from Gangarosa. Cut that one away from Martin. And State now dumping and chasing. They're in for a change as Shanahan pauses behind her goal. 13:22. First period, still 1-0 Nittany Lions. A fast and ferocious pace here early. Liv Haig up the right wing. Worked into the middle for Martin. Off the edge of her stick. Maeve Connolly gets back defensively for Penn State. Cherokee. Linked up the boards for Connolly. She has Dobson out to her left. Skates down the right wing onto the backhand. Puck poked free from Alex Allen. Behind the goal, Connolly ultimately loses out to Allen once more. Some stick taps from the Boston bench. It's a long stretch down through center. Tapped up by Blinkmore. Played with the stick of Balkin, no icing. But behind the Penn State goal where Izzy Heminger can retrieve. Experienced defender up forward to Dobson. First stretch pass cut out to center by Mativi. Here's Ruthrich now for the Terriers. They're in the midst of a change. Looking left to right in their home white uniform. Off the right wing. Shot save off the rebound. GT1 bounces free. And breaks it off the welcome mat through Olivia Wallin. Dobson comes in for a change. Wallin dumps and chases, skates up the right wing. Getting forward. Now Mativi seals her off the puck. And they can win it back in deep once more. 12:25 first period. Lions aggressively skating the puck in Boston end. But Badir can pick it up only momentarily before Ruthrich intervenes. Puck careens back out the center. Avery Mitchell up the near side. Stops on a dime around the red line. Didn't have a lot of reinforcements arriving in navy blue for the Nittany Lions, so Parker is bringing her along the scorer's table. Now back with Mitchell once more. Collision of twigs as the puck rainbows into the BU end. Shanahan calling for it out to our left, but instead of leaving for a teammate, Boston will break back out through McKenna Parker. That's a nice time for the second line right winger for the Terriers. Another dumping chase. Parker gloves it aside, rather pausing the stop play, plays it up for Lindy Lobdell behind the goal. That's in for a free breakout. Here's Weiss up the right wing. Tried to play one back for Mitchell, left it a little short. It comes through on goal. Boston covers. This time elects to stop play. 11 and a half minutes left in the first period. 1-0 Penn State. So early high-intensity pace.
High-intensity pace and not a ton of whistles going on right now, Andre. So both teams bringing their legs early. They're getting a ton of action.
So Weiss will take the draw to the right of the Penn State net liner jersey buff. It started a little prematurely. We'll do it again. It's that top line of forwards out on the ice right now for BU. Catherine Kula, 5'6" sophomore, in the dot for the Terriers. Fulham wins the draw, first face-off win of the afternoon for Boston. Puck immediately pops out of play off the stick of Grace Parker. It's two teams that are rather familiar with each other to a certain extent. They last met back in 2019 at the Google Ice Arena. Boston won both of those games in pretty dominant fashion, scoring 5 in each of those two contests, but a much different Penn State roster. Only 7 Nittany Lions skating today that played in those two games at Pagola 2 years ago. One of those is Mallory Uline, and off the time from the faceoff, takes the puck behind the Penn State net. Uline had a primary assist on Goss' opening goal last night for St. Cloud State. Very creative defenseman for the Penn State side. Rosa attempted stretch pass, intercepted. Now Boston take it back into the Penn State end. Donnelly. Got Christina Vogt battling Rosa for the puck along the far dasher. Rosa takes it on. Swings it out all the way down to Uline. Start banging up the near boards for Burns. Then intercepted by Burgh, but Uline battles responsibly. Comes through to Rosa. 10:57 first period, still 1-0 Penn State. Machado, in between blockers, sticks it forward into the Boston, and Penn State in the midst of a change. Boston trying to catch them out. They attempt to stretch pass towards Calderon, not completed by Haig. Signals my bad, it's an icing. Offensive zone draw upcoming for the Nittany Lions. 10:47 left to play in the opening break.
Turnovers plagued the Nittany Lions last night in their game against St. Cloud State, and there's seeming to be quite prevalent early on here in this one. So if you're a Nittany Lion fan, you don't want that to continue, but Boston taking advantage.
Faceoff's now 6-1 in favor of Penn State after Zanin wins it cleanly. Left the goaltender Shanahan. Hemminger works far point, now has it back center point. Skating towards the blue line, coming back towards Zanin, getting a faceoff dot. Ising pinned up against the boards with the puck by Calderon. And off that tie-up, EU comes out with the puck. Brief miscommunication, but now Haig takes it forward for the Terriers. Martin up the left wing, speeds forward, sealed off the puck by Hemminger. Now Penn State look to break back quickly. Ising left wing as Zanin and Goss moving towards the middle. Makes it back forward, up along behind the goal. Taken on by Alex Allen. Allen's attempted clearance, blasted back in by Penn State along the boards by Lobdell. From the point down near side, Ising pestering a Boston defender in down low. That was Calderon. He eventually gets it out towards center where Haig will take the puck off. Loose amongst her skates, so instead of forward, both teams in the midst of the change. Penn State pauses behind their own goal. 9:52 left to play, first period, 1-0 Nittany Lions. Pick up the board by Lobdell. Here's Dobson left wing. Has it in her circle, looking for the puck at centering pass. Cut out by Matsivi. Back defensively to prevent Connolly, who's streaking up the slot. Pass it back out by Parker, taken on by Mitchell for Penn State. Line set with it in the neutral zone. It's looped back in by Lobdell. On the boards, it'll be touched up. 9:30 left to play. First period, we have stoppage. Looks like we're going to take a stoppage for that first period. Need a timeout, but play will resume at 9:30 left here in the first period. Finally taking the draw for Penn State. Shadow over her own goal, and Josie Bofkin, she wins it cleanly once again for Penn State, who's been dominant. Face-off dot early on. Our side, Cherokee loses the puck off her stick break. Wants to take it back. A high looping puck out and batted out of the air by Mitchell. Right in the middle of the slot before it can pass through Boston. Look back near point, Mativi. The clean wrestler never got all the way through. Connolly intercepted off the slot. Attempted clearance, cut out by Penn State. Look forward off the stick of Lobdell. The line still trying to clear along the blue line. Eventually whacked out as far as center by Dobson. BU can immediately right back in. off the right wing. It's McKenna Parker. Her shot from a sharp angle, gobbled up by Boston, hugging her near post. 8:53 left the first period. Have another stoppage off the 5th save of the afternoon already from Penn State netminder. There's our media timeout. A fast start on score for the Nittany Lions. They lead 1-0. Really called goal. We'll step aside here. 8:53 left first period. So the Penn State women's hockey Battle of the Burgh tournament on Cobb Radio. Simulcast on Now Hockey Live. Left to go in the first period for the UPMC Sports Complex. Cranberry Pennsylvania. The battle at the Burgh Consolation game. The Boston Terriers, Penn State Nittany Lions. A Julie Goff goal, 30 seconds in as Penn State out to a slumber advantage. But the Terriers have responded nicely. A 5-3 advantage in shots. And a face-off coming up to the left of Casey Boston. Is won by the Terriers and called her own. Has to go off the end of her stick all the way out to center ice. Now here comes Penn State. Maya Bassett skating forward. Back check by 4. Retrieve for Boston in the RN. Quickly working forward, lots of forensic pace from the Terriers. It's Christina Vogt. Skates up the slot, ultimately forced to retreat before the puck's intercepted. Penn State has numbers if they hurry. The right wing Wallin has to go off the edge of her stick blade, but she entered the zone offside regardless. 8.5 to go, first period. Faceoff comes out of the zone. Evan Wallace joins me. I'm Andre Nagaro. Evan, what have been your thoughts here early on?
I think the first line for Penn State's been excellent, being able to get in the offensive zone, and they got that goal for Penn State early on. But lines 2, 3, and 4 are struggling to get any time in the offensive end. That's what I've seen so far.
Is that secondary unit now for Penn State? Bassett loses the faceoff quickly into the Penn State end. Left to right come the Terriers. The jump from the high slot. Ski ramps off a stick. They came off the stick of Christina Vogt. Ultimately, it comes back out to the point. He blasted back in by Gia Quinta. Behind the goal, Nittany Lions being guessered as they try to merge the puck behind their netminder, Jersey Boston, who stopped all 5 shots she's faced so far. 8 minutes left here, first period. Ball comes out to the far dasher, Wallin. Use her size to win that puck battle. Instead of going back to the goal for Allen. Blinds fires the howitzer. Glove stop Boston. Couldn't corral it, but down to our left in the butterfly. Makes a stop. Large rebound out to the right. That's scooped back up by Penn State. Swept away by Renee Gangarosa. Gangarosa now skates over through center. Fakes the stopper. Comes in, tries to skate around Giaquito. Loses the puck off the edge of her stick blade. Off the backboard, Allen retrieves. Behind the goal of Detley Shanahan. BU ultimately emerges with the puck and break down to their own end. Only as far as the blue line. Natalie Heising back in pestering. Off the goal scorers up with her. He's eventually able to muscle the puck out towards center, where it can be stashed back into the Penn State end. Carly bounces around the defender, and Carly Garcia skates forward, but can't win the race behind the Penn State goal. Izzy Heminger gets back on instead for the Nittany Lions. Now Garcia back up defensively. She skates out of the Penn State end, traverses through center ice, hits Heising up the left wing, but she's over the line prematurely. Another offsides on Penn State. 7:08 on the first period clock, so 1-0 Nittany Lions.
The symmetry seems to be off right now for the Nittany Lions, just getting into the offensive zone. In Boston, they've had the majority of the time in the attacking end, and eventually they're going to pull through at some point. It's a good enough squad.
On the Penn State bench, in the neutral zone, down to our right, Nittany Lions win the draw cleanly. That top unit stays on for Penn State. One of those is sophomore sensation, Kiara Zanin, had her 9th multi-point game of her career last night, a 2-assist effort. He banks the puck cross ice, where it's intercepted back from the Terriers. Break out left to right. Here's Julia Nearest. Quiet so far, works the puck into the slot. Can't get her shot away. She's chipped away from the puck by Heising. Heising takes a tumble on the scores table. She muscles the puck back into the BU end. Stays on the ice as the rest of Penn State goes in for a change. Avery Mitchell takes the puck behind the Penn State goal after blasted back in by the Terriers, who are now making a change of their own. Got 5 out there for each side. In the neutral zone, puck scooped up by Woodruff. Looking forward for BU. Sticking the middle part. Walks in your face off circle. High rising wrister off the blocker of Boston out to her right. Tumble in the far corner. Lobdell emerges with it for Penn State. Works D to D with Avery Mitchell. Banked up the inner boards. Carrie Burns skates around one. Burns Down the near face-off dot. Now skates around behind the cage. Moves it off for Machado. Machado far corner. Mitchell Beaver tailing for the puck around center point. She shoots blocked in front. Never all the way through. It's stung by the body of Calderon. 5:55 first period. Boston breaks out to center. Harris takes it back on once more. Shot, glove save, Boston sliding over to her left. Snares it out of midair. 5:47 first period. 1-0 Penn State.
I want to credit Boston's defense so far. So they've been beat into the zone at times, but they've been able to corral and get back and just be able to force Penn State to the perimeter, not letting too many high-quality opportunities inside.
Right of Boston, another face-off after her 7th save already in this first period. Abe Connolly earns it for Penn State. The Nittany Lions win just under 50% of their draws this season. Now working quickly back right to left. Dobson from Abe Connolly. Connolly stops on a dime behind the DU goal after getting a clean zone entry. Martin also her away from the front, comes back to the point. Gangarosa drives straight into the glove. Callie Shanahan skates over to her left, snares it. 5:28 first period, under stoppage. An offensive zone draw for Penn State, who has 1-0 lead.
Easy save right there for Callie Shanahan in goal. When there's no traffic in front, both these goaltenders are good enough to be able to snag those pucks easily.
Shanahan's first start against Penn State. Senior Paige Stewart, who's on the bench today after playing against Syracuse a night ago, who played the first 2 games at Penn State last year. Face off to the right of Shanahan, blue line shot, blocked in front. Real highs and skates to the Penn State end. Into the slide, works a wrister, redirected by Goff. Off of Shanahan, bounces out wide to the left. Scooped up by the Terriers with the breakout back towards center. Parker has the puck off the edge of her stick. Rosa takes a tumble. Parker, a clean zone entry. Rising wrister off the left pad of Boston, down hugging her near post from the near dot. 5 minutes up first period. Penn State to get the puck out as far as center momentarily before it's blasted back in by Parker. Terriers making a change. Penn State will use this as a time to regroup and launch a fresh pursuit out of the deck. Zanin up the left wing. Boots a couple of skaters. Now advance forward. Bounces the puck off of the back glass. Comes free to the side of the cage to Shanahan. Zanin can't scoop up the puck. She's hustled aside by 3 Boston defenders. And now she comes back through Donnelly. Donnelly off the edge of her stick, comes back from the TV. Skates over the zone, on sides to the right. The puck comes free, full of a drive. Whistles wide to the left of Boston. Puck carries back free to the point. Badir takes it on. As Wallin sweeping through the middle. Badir, deep back check from the TV. Badir bounces into the boards, no call forthcoming. A couple of cheers from the Penn State faithful in the crowd, but play will resume. 4:13 first period, 1-0 Nittany Lions. Puck hustles its way free out to the far side. Works bank up the boards cross ice, intercepted by Heminger. Heminger up the left wing, skates into the slot. Leads for Badir. Fires just wide to the left post. Shanahan didn't see it all the way through. Going back far dasher. Wallin takes it on only momentarily before she has it cut out from Northern Calderon. Taking back on another wrister. Just on top of the far circle from Heminger. It's an easy glove save for Shanahan. Play is stopped. 3:49 first period, 1-0 Penn State.
Fantastic drop pass right there. Andre by Heminger leaving it for Badir. Screening in front was Heminger, then with another Boston defender just ripping it wide there, was Lexi Badir, while Penn State could have a 2-0 advantage.
Rice loses out on the draw to Martin, but Machado intercepts deep in the Boston end. Back around behind the goal, Machado sets it down, goes in the middle, burns the shot, didn't get all the way through, was blocked in front once more. Back to the point, Lobdell. Cross ice for Mitchell. Behind the cage, Weiss emerges with it now near corner. Get off the edge of her stick, and it's intercepted. Here's Blinkhorn, speeding down the right wing, can't get past the Orks and transfer Avery Mitchell. Now it's sophomore Carrie Burns. Along the penalty box, just sees skates into the Boston end. Calderon steals her away from the puck. Takes it back on for the Terriers. Moved into Penn State and Gangarosa retrieves Boston in the midst of the change. 3:11 first period, 1-0 Nittany Lions. Coming pass into the middle, shot from the glove. Off the stick of U-line. Stick intervention there. Boston getting another shot on goal. They'll work back into the middle. Hacking away at the puck. It's limped on by Josie Boston. Effective shift nonetheless, but Giaquinto gets a couple efforts away. Boston makes a stop. Play stopped just inside of 3 minutes to go, period number 1.
And the Terriers, with those 8 shots on goal now up on the scoreboard here, not really any quality opportunities inside or in the slot area. A bunch coming from the perimeter. Penn State's been good at shoving them outside.
Connolly's been good in the face-off dot early on. He left of Josie Boston. It's a tie-up. Then the Lions come out with it against Woodbridge for the Terriers. The Lions looking for a clean breakout in the last 3 minutes of the first period. Equal on the Penn State bench, picked up far side by Jess Shiroki. She's upended by Woodbridge. Boston will claim the puck back in its own end. Right down as far as center ice, we're along the boards. The Lions getting the 2 through Dobson. Puck right back to center ice where Connolly can pick it up. Right here, Shiroki. Kroki up the right wing. Pauses behind the goal. Drops in near face-off circle. The drop pass towards her. It's intercepted. Flanked back up the board by the Terriers. Alex Allen pauses behind her own goal. Dobson back checking for Penn State in the BUN. Still 1-0 Nittany Lions. 2:13 to play first period. Take the tape now. Parker left wing. Goes cross ice. Christina Vogt. Vogt skating amongst 4 Nittany Lions. Goes right over the blue line. Fires a wrister. Goes screeching off the back glass after it's paddled aside by Boston. And State has the numbers back defensively to break out Badir. It's an awkward angle from the left wing. Now skates in, looks for the centering pass. But hit up fellow freshman Maya Bastet. Instead of breaks his point for Carly Garcia. Back in deep, but then quickly rainbowed out by BU. And Bastet will take it back towards Garcia. 1:38 left first period. Penn State comes that 1-0 lead for a late goal for some insurance. Boston, meanwhile, will find the back of the net after a couple of effective shifts of their own. They responded nicely to going down early. Handing her a pirouette in her own end to elude an on-rushing skater in Vogt. Now Penn State has numbers the other way. Wallin drops it off in the slot. Zanin on the ice. Skates around far face-off dot. Eludes a couple of defenders. Goes behind the goal. Mitchell at the top of the far dot. Instead, Zanin keeps it on. And then bumps it back in deep. 1:10 first period. Boston has the puck behind their own cage, trailing 1-0. Still can't break out of their own end as Zanin's back for Penn State. No reinforcements arriving, however. And Donnelly takes it back. Takes it close into the Penn State end, but ultimately muscled away from goal by Lobdell. Inside of a minute now, 53 seconds exactly. Penn State breaking out of their own end. Puck lost at center ice. Martin takes it away from Julie Gott. E to D called her own in the BUN. Terriers hoping for one last rush in this first period. Martin along the Boston bench on the far side, checked by Zanin. Isaac comes free trying to poke the puck away. Instead it breaks for Kiara Zanin. Penn State fresh unit of forwards on the ice. One of those is Machado. Going to lead puck in the neutral zone back. Isaac has it at the scorer's table. Up into the middle. Machado. Top of the near circle. Tried to go cross ice. Couldn't quite hit it up. Rebound breaks off the deflection. From the through on goal, but Shanahan never had to worry about it. Last 20 seconds of the first period now. Puck goes from the slot to the point. Or Gangarosa can't keep it in the zone. She'll retreat back into her own end. The last 12 seconds now. Penn State looking for one last break. Now inside 7. Through the neutral zone, Machado. Taped over the BU blue line. Down the right wing. Loses out on the puck. Called around, stashes it into the corner. That's how the first period comes to a close. For the city, what the Nittany Lions and Terriers saw last night. BU goes down early. Penn State scores early. Boston responds nicely. It's 1-0 Penn State, Evan, heading into the first intermission. But you still feel like either team has an argument in the case of this game, definitely.
Absolutely. Besides a shaky opening shift there for the Terriers, this first period was very well matched and even. And coming into this game, none of us thought this was going to be a blowout either side. It's a really well matched game. Both teams fighting for something today, so it's going to be fascinating to see how the final 40 go.
Penn State's 10-7-2 on the season. Boston 9-6-4 as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. Both teams need a marquee out of conference win out their at-large argument to the NCAA tournament should they not win their conference tournaments. And it's a big statement for a young Penn State program against a blue blood in Boston. We'll see how the last 40 minutes go here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. We'll step aside for 15 minutes before the second period arrives in this consolation game. The Battle of the Burgh tournament, 1-0 Penn State. Listening to Penn State Women's Hockey on Com Radio, simulcast on How Hockey Live. Getting set for the second period from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. Andre Maguire, Evan Papalis here with you on Com Radio and How Hockey Live. Penn State leads Boston 1-0. Evan, a very fast and ferocious first period of action and pretty even on both sides.
That it was, Andre. Just like I said, right at the end of that first period, it was basically besides that one shaky start there for Boston. Expect to see that the rest of the way. You're going to see continuous fight for the Terriers. The question is, can Penn State finally hold on to a lead and figure out a way to get a victory when they get a lead in these games? Because it just seems like over and over again they blow it. Boston did great yesterday and coming back. We'll just have to see who's better tonight.
Yeah, and Penn State's looking for that marquee win out of conference as well for a young program that's gotten that talent here in the last two recruiting class cycles and an opportunity for them to take that step forward. Narrowly missed out on the NCAA tournament last year. And now a renewed opportunity for them. They've had a really rough out-of-conference schedule. They've played very competitively in a lot of those games against Boston College, but one that definitely got away from them yesterday in St. Cloud State. They have a new opportunity to try to get that win here. And the Boston side, it's also in need of a big out-of-conference win, and they'll look to rally in the last 40. BU's in the home red and whites. Penn State's in the all-navy strip, including the buckets, and alternate helmet they introduced a couple seasons ago. And the Nittany Lions win the opening draw. They'll work left to right in this second period. BU right to left. Penn State wins the opening face-off. They were dominant in that category in the early phases, but it's quickly stripped off of them and worked back by Julia Nearish. She's checked away from the puck by Mallory Uline. Banks it back out as far as center ice. Up the near side, it'll be retrieved by Gia Quinto. And she'll work back the other way. Bank it up the boards along the benches to McKenna Parker. Parker was a huge catalyst for the Boston attack in that first period. She retrieves the puck along the far face-off circle, brings it back on. Weak wrister goes through wide of Boston. A lot of traffic in front. Never got directed on goal. Now pinching back forward come the Terriers and work back to Mativi. The Italian native banks across ice. Gangarosa will retrieve for Penn State. Boston in the midst of a change. 19-11 left second period. 1-0 Nittany Lions. Cross ice pass for Penn State. Never found the captain Natalie Heising. It's an icing. I'll stop play with 19:07 to go.
Boston started this period out a little bit better than the last one, so look at the offensive face-off here. That top line coming out so they can pose another threat.
Top line out for the Terriers. Fulham's out there against Zanin for Penn State. The Nittany Lions top forward unit win that one to the right of their goaltender, Bothan, and break back out left to right. Another attempt at stretch pass for Heising. Couldn't get hit off the stick tape of Machado. Bothan will blow the puck in deep. Gangarosa will retrieve for Penn State. On the near boards, once again, it's banked across the penalty boxes, and Mativi will retrieve for the Terriers. Skating in her own end, looking for reinforcements to arrive. That one eludes the stick tape of Larson. Now comes back around again. There's a shot save. Boston rebound, skied in the air through Mativi. Looked like it ski-ramped off a Penn State stick in front. Hammered off the back glass. It stays out. 18:30 to go. BU still coming, looking for their equalizer. Turns up to Wallin. Now stretched forward as far as Dobson, who skates down left wing, stretching the ice. Penn State has numbers into the middle. Redirection from Connolly. Couldn't go goalwards. Garcia will stick it forward. Penn State looked to set up shop in the BU end down to our right. 18-14, second period, still 1-0 Nittany Lions. Back to the point, Garcia goes D-to-D. Hemminger center point. Rister redirected wide. And now Penn State looking to retrieve again near circle. Dobson has it, skates in close for the power move down low. Connolly was in there as well. Puck never got goalward through a force of bodies. Far point Garcia. Skating around left wing, Wallin tried to dangle a defender. Couldn't get it around Grace Parker. Pumped back in deep by Penn State. Tired legs in for a change. Wallin's the only one still on the ice, pestering the BU defense as they look to break out and now get it as far as center. Cross ice for Vogt, intercepted by Lobdell. Read well as Parker retreats. Stashes it back into the Penn State end where Hemminger will retrieve for Penn State. Tried to bank it up the boards for Weiss. Goff notices that Weiss drops her stick and intervenes along the near boards to keep it going momentarily before it's prodded back out the center. Goff will retrieve once more. Drop it back for Lobdell, the only skater in the Penn State end. Here come the Nittany Lions up the right wing. Goff retrieving once more. Worked into the middle. Badir tried to stick handle around Martin. Key intervention there. Dropped back around behind the net. Goff went for it. Rebound. Scramble in front. Loose in the slot. Never got all the way through. Took a deflection. And now a penalty upcoming on the Terriers. Penn State will have the first power play of the afternoon. 17:06 left second period.
Glory right there, right in front of Shanahan's goal. And it looked like Boston was able to get it out of there in the end, but you can only take a penalty to get through that. So an opportunity here for Penn State. On the power play, first one today for other side.
So Penn State will head to the power play for the first time here. They had that power play goal in the first game against St. Cloud State. They were 1 for 3 last night, over 20% for the first time this season. They win the draw. Comes back free to Kiara Zanin. Zanin far side. Fired it just wide to the left. Goaltender Shanahan. Lobdell pitching in deep retreats. And Goff had it in the high slot. Her shot couldn't be directed goalwards. Parker was looking to spring a shorthanded chance. Boston did score a shorthanded goal against Syracuse in yesterday's contest. But Lobdell gets back defensively for Penn State. A minute 36 left in the power play. 16:41 left second period. 1-0 Penn State. To the point, Lobdell. She scored the third Penn State goal yesterday. Work to the near dot. Zanin. Dropped in down low. Heising tried to go cross ice. Streaking for Goff and never got all the way through. Key intervention on the other end from Grace Parker. To the point, Lobdell bluffs on the slapper. Headed across now. Heising high in the slot. Couldn't control that one on her tape. But it breaks kindly for Zanin. Zanin near dot. Same side as Heising, who goes in for the power move down low. Tried to stash a backhander in. And they score. Natalie Heising has been red hot for the Nittany Lions and stays true to form. A power move down low. Backhander lifted over the shoulder of Shanahan. Another power play goal for Penn State. And they double their lead 2-0, 4 minutes into the second.
Breakdown and coverage right there by the Terriers. You can't leave Natalie Heising wide open down low for Penn State. She just moves right in, makes that power play you alluded to, Andre, and is able to just stash that one home after a couple of fights to get it in.
Second power play goal of the weekend for Penn State, and a resurgent power play as the Nittany Lions double their lead. Same lead they had last night over St. Cloud State. And want to try to hang on to it now. Izzy Heminger off the draw, Nittany Lions control. 15:55 to go, second period. Penn State just doubling their lead off the goal from the captain, Natalie Heising. Heising leads the team in goal scoring. That is her 13th of the season and point number 25. Right now, PA system announcing that goal towards Lindy Lobdell. So as it stands, that's her 4th goal of the season. Penn State hold on that 2-0 advantage regardless. Fulham taps it off her stick tape back around behind the goal. The Nittany Lions retrieve down in their own end. Up the near boards, comes through to Parker. Parker skating with it in her own end. Has her edge lost, and Weiss tries to pick it up for Penn State. Joe Weiss, no stranger to BU, scored her first career goal against the Terriers back in 2019. Vote. Up the near boards. Banked along the BU bench. Penn State will retrieve. Burrowing in deep through U-line, back in their own end, looking to break out. Left. For defensive partner in Heminger. 5 minutes into the second now. Penn State scrambling to get the puck out, and they can't quite retrieve. Back to the point. Skating over her options, tried to go for Parker, did her defensive partner Calderon. Instead, it's intercepted by Shiroki. Shiroki down the right wing. Attempted centering pass, cut out, gets the rebound, stashes it on goal, and Shanahan forced to go down in the butterfly, hugging her near post, covers it, stops play. 14:39 left in the second frame. 1-0 Penn State. Couple of furious chances coming in, though, for the Nittany Lions, Evan.
Absolutely, there are, Andre. And Harry Burns and Jess Shiroki have been pretty good today. Even though they don't normally get a ton of ice time, they've had a couple of chances in this game. Burns is skating excellently with the puck as well.
Should that goal stand for Lobdell as face-off won by Penn State to the left of Shanahan, the Nittany Lions look to set up in the zone. That's 3 in 4 games for Lobdell. The defender, Team USA International, in fine goal-scoring form. She also got Penn State's 3rd tally night to go against St. Cloud State. Heising in the slot, her shot blocked by Allen, and cleared back down as far as center. McKenna Parker trying to quarterback the rush for BU. Along the boards, Parker has it, skates into the slot, fires, ricocheted off the post, and buffed and stays out. Closest BU's come to lighting the lamp so far. Comes back to Parker again. Another wrister didn't get all the way through. Works back to the point. Giaquinto. Far side dasher. Zanin battling for it for the Nittany Lions. Can't work through the check of Julia Nearest. Giaquinto once more trying to pump it in deep. Penn State will retrieve behind their own goal only momentarily. Now Zanin gets it up to Heising. Trying to catch Boston out of change. Heising speeds down the left wing. Darts through center. Rainbows the puck up in the air. Past the stick of Shanahan. Tried to stick it aside back around behind her goal. This is Machado now. On the forecheck for Penn State. Works it as far as the near dasher. Lobdell pinching in deep. Keeps the puck in the BU end down to our right. 13:34 to go. 2-0 Penn State. Tangle of twigs in the corner. Penn State emerges with the puck. Badir. And that'll be a penalty upcoming. Tripped up. Boston skater and Jesse DeVito. And now a chance, Evan. Boston to get back into the game. They'll go to the power play for the first time this afternoon with 13:26 left in the second.
This could be a graceful opportunity now for the Terriers. Penn State and Badir is going to take an ill-advised penalty there in the offensive attacking zone. So now a chance now for Boston. Within one, excuse me.
The BU power play was 0 for 3 yesterday against Syracuse, operating at 13.6% this season. To the right of Boston, they win the initial draw. TV will set up shop, center point. Fakes the slap shot, surveying her options either side. Gets off to the far face-off dot. Maloney tried to drop it in the middle side of the goal, scrambling for the loose puck. Boston down and desperate along the goal line, and it never got directed goalward. High flurry of chances, back out to Mativi, center point. Near side work back up at TV, winds, fires, save Boston. Scrambles on the puck, pins it to her chest, and stops play, sliding over to her left. 13:03 left second period. Less than 30 seconds in, a couple of good chances for the Terriers, Evan.
Absolutely. Mativi left one fly from the point. That's the second time we've seen her lay into one today. Nice save there by Bob. Bob making a huge sprawling save a couple of seconds before that, too.
Davey wins the draw back cleanly for BU. 1:34 left on the power play. Another winding wrist for save. Boston. Juicy rebound out to the left, and the attempted slap shot blocked out by Boston once more, sliding over to her right. Calderon tried to let it fly. Boston a few impressive stops on this power play. Far corner. BU with it once more. 1:19 left on the power play. 12:42 left second period. 2-0 Penn State. Davey will set up shop at the point again. Work back cross ice. Breaks free again. Boston another sliding save, raising the blocker up high. That one came from Calderon once more at the near dot. Penn State finally flails it clear, and Heisen can win the race to the puck. But she'll head in for a change regardless. Let the clock continue to wind. A fresh quartet of killers for Penn State. A minute into this power play. 12:17 left to go. Mativi waiting for Boston to make changes of their own before she launches a pursuit out of her own end. Eluding the stick tape of Parker, she'll now rush onto it in the Penn State end down the right wing. Boston pinned to a near post at the left, surveying in the far corner. Couple of defenders go down, and it'll work back to the point for Larson. The defender turned forward at the near dot, now sets up shop at the point. Work back far side. 11:54 left in the period. High rising shot off the shoulder of Boston. Rebound side of the cage. Couldn't be directed goalward by Wuthrich. Near point, Larson recontrols the loose puck. 20 seconds left on the power play. Under 12 left second period. Work back side of the goal, and a shot once more comes through, but it's blocked in front by Heminger. That one was off the stick of Nearest. Parker to the point. Larson surveying her options in the last 8 ticks of the power play. Larson, center point. Skating towards Heminger, lets the wrister fly. Lobdell reaches her left hand up, blocks it, swats it clear, all the way down to the BU end, but Deer's out of the box, and Penn State's back to full strength. 11:20 left, second period, 2-0 Nittany Lions. Long stretch pass forward. Here come the Terriers again. Martin through center. Force out to her left. Rings it around the boards. Picked up behind the goal. Still Boston has it. Worked back, far side. Nittany Lions intercept. 11 minutes left, second period. Here come the Nittany Lions left to right. Goff blasts it, rings it around the boards. Towards the far dasher. Weiss dashes it in deep. Work back up to the point. Goff whacking away out, trying to keep it in for Penn State. It'll stay through Weiss. Working through the slot. Burns a backhander. Redirected wide to the left of Shanahan. Goff. Back to Uline now. Uline near point. Has it hop off of her stick. Has to retreat to the neutral zone. Gangarosa waiting for the D-to-D pass. Instead, Uline eludes 2 skaters. Bounces it back forward. 10.5 to play second period. 2-0 Penn State. Long stretch pass forward. Blinkhorn. Can't quite catch that one on the edge of her tape. Penn State's back with it in their own end. They regroup through Kiara Zanin. Couple of kicks of the puck to get it back onto her stick tape. Zanin jets forward left wing as Machado streaking forward in the middle. Zanin around the goal, tried to go for the wraparound attempt. Hugging her near post, Shanahan got it down to her left. Rebound breaks free for Machado. Machado to the point. Garcia. Quick puck work from Penn State. Near circle, Zanin has it. Cross ice for Heminger. Outstretched to her left, keeps it in the zone just along the blue line. Now to Zanin, left wing, has Heising and Machado in the middle. Said button hooks back along to the far corner. Heminger fakes the slap shot. Garcia has it hop right over her stick along the blue line, and it'll bounce back out to the Penguins logo at center ice, or she'll retrieve, and Machado up the right wing stashes it back in deep. Along the scoreboard at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex on the far side down to our right, Boston retrieves the puck. Flips back forward, now at the midway point of the hockey game. It's Heminger in her own end. Breaks free, stretch pass to Maeve Connolly. Boston in the midst of a change. Penn State gets in on side. Dobson tries to stash it forward for Wallin, who was skating up the slot. Pass ill-advised and doesn't quite reach her. With 9:22 to go, Boston retrieves in their own end. Giaquinto banks it up the Penn State bench on the far side. Loose back out towards center. Stashed into the zone by Vogt, who skates after it with a head full of steam. Instead, it's rainbowed forward. Glove down by Dobson in the neutral zone. A tangle of twigs from Wallin, along with Giaquinto. Puck loops in the air. Glove down by Lobdell. She skates over the zone on the near side. Off sides. will stop play. 9:03 to go, second period. 2-0 Penn State. That will head for immediate stoppage. The Nittany Lions double their lead on the power play. I'll hand over play-by-play duties to Evan Papalos when we come back. Listening to Penn State Women's Hockey on Com Radio, simulcast on How Hockey Live. Neutral zone. A tangle of twigs from Wallene, along with Giaquinto. Puck loops in the air, glove down by Lobdell. She skates over the zone on the rear side, offsides. Will stop play. 9:03 to go, second period. 2-0 Penn State. That will head for immediate stoppage. The Nittany Lions double their lead on the power play. I'll hand over play-by-play duties to Evan Papalos when we come back. Listening to Penn State Women's Hockey on Com Radio, simulcast on How Hockey Live.
Just a little bit past the halfway mark here. UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. It's the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins practice facility. It's the Penn State Nittany Lions leading the Boston University Terriers 2-0. 9:03 remaining here in the middle frame as Rachel Weiss leans in for the Nittany Lions, and she's going against the top line center, Catherine Fulham of Boston. Puck is dropped. Jess Shiroki able to come away with it for the Nittany Lions and able to get it in here on the near side. Penn State going left to right. If you're listening on Com Radio, simulcast is on YouTube, How Hockey Live. Both teams battling right in neutral ice, and now skating in are the Terriers. This one is shot right on Josie Bowden. She never saw it. She's able to fight it off for the time being. Lindy Lobdell behind the goal with it. Now it's Rachel Weiss. Able to make a man or a woman miss on that. That's Kaylee Donnelly. Out of the outstretched stick of Julie Goff, and the Terriers able to come up with it now. It's Donnelly for the time being over here in front of Andre and myself for a vote. Kiara Zana now for the Nittany Lions. Still on neutral ice. Gives it up to the fifth-year senior captain, Natalie Heising. She skates right into the middle of the ice. Shot just wide of Shanahan's goal. 8:14 remaining here in the middle frame. It's 2-0 Penn State. Both teams battling here as it scoots out to neutral ice. Renee Gangarosa, defender for Penn State, gives it a chase, and the alternate captain is able to come up with it. She gives it off to her defense partner, Mallory Uline. Makes another woman miss, and now she gives it up to Machado. Able to scamper over the blue line. There in the attack as she gives a pass and receives it right back from Kiara Zana. Machado with it down in the near side corner. Taken away now by the Terriers. Coming away with it is Emma Wuthrich. Wuthrich gives it up to Parker. That's McKenna Parker. But both teams still battling for possession. It's Wuthrich with it, and now we have a stoppage of play. And I believe it's going to be an offsides.
Faceoff's going to come to center here, but I mean, Evan, I've been really impressed with what Natalie Heising has done on the ice today. She's been one of the best players that scramble on the power play. The goal went to her or Lobdell, but regardless, another really impressive shift there. And that top line has been humming for Penn State. Consistent pressure throughout the two periods so far, something they might have lacked a night ago.
Leading scorer in all of Penn State history, Natalie Heising. Maeve Connolly leans in there. Wuthrich able to come away with it for the time being. Penn State now has it, but now it's Alex Allen, defender for Boston, gives it over to Mativi. Mativi has it once more. She's let a couple of howitzers get off her stick today. Penn State with possession now. It's the freshman Carly Garcia giving it up to Olivia Wallene out of her reach. Allen with it, gives it over to Mativi again. Mativi skates it by herself. The lefty tries to feed a pass through to Martin. Unsuccessful there. Now Penn State coming the other way. This is Dobson trying to battle for possession. This is going to be another offsides, this one on Penn State. 7:11 remaining here in the second period. 2-0 Nittany Lions.
We're seeing a much better response 5-on-5 for Penn State today. I mean, they've kept that pressure up. They're now trailing in shots rather 13-11, but that zone time has been increased. It's something they didn't do against St. Cloud State a night ago. There's been that sense of continued pressure that have really helped the Nittany Lions flow a lot better 5-on-5.
Martin versus Connolly. Martin comes out with it for the Terriers. She was the only multi-point scorer in yesterday's game, talking about Lacey Martin. She's at the third line center today. Gives it up. That is to Haley Blinkhorn. Now Blinkhorn is able to turn it over to Carly Garcia, over to Mativi. Both teams just trading possession back and forth. Blinkhorn walks in, tries a one-time one. It's blocked nicely there by Izzy Heminger. Heminger still trying to find a way to get possession of it. And now scampering forward is Jessie DeVito. DeVito, haven't said her name too much today, but she's out there right now with Martin, her line mate as well. DeVito puts down Heminger. We don't see that too often. Blinkenhorn over there as well. Both teams giving chase. Connolly over there for the Nittany Lions. And they are able to get it out here on the near side, crossing over the blue line and now over the red. Boston gains possession. 6:18 remaining here in the second period. 2-0 Penn State. This one's fed in deep by Boston. Heminger going to give it chase one more time. Lets this one fly down the ice. Blocked nicely there by Calderon. Calderon over to Fulham. She's in a heated battle right now with Carrie Burns, who's had a fantastic game today. Julie Goff in there on the forecheck. Gives a nice ride there. Calderon with it behind her own cage. Now she'll sprint off to that far side. She lost an edge there. You can see it coming from a mile away. Rachel Weiss able to jump on it. Has a couple of women streaking towards the goal. She's going to give one out in front. Julie Goff couldn't get a shot away, though. Blocked away nicely by Tamara Gianquinto. Terriers try to break out now. Vogt has it bounce off her stick. And going the other way now is Lobdell. Lobdell right into the glove hand of Shanahan. And that'll be knocked down 2-0 Penn State. 5:33 to go.
Something interesting I've noted here. Julie Goff started on that Zanen-Heising line for Penn State. Got the goal 30 seconds in. Since then, dropped down to a different line. They put Machado back up with the front unit that's on the ice right now. But needless to say, Goff's been great hitting into goal-scoring areas, and Lobdell as well with the offensive-minded play.
Hook dropped on the far side. Kiara Zanen is unsuccessful in winning it for Penn State. Mativi comes away with it. Lets one fly all the way down the ice. This will be iced down, however, on an icing call. 2-0, 5:23 to go in the second period. BU leading in the shot department on goal, 13-11.
From a BU perspective, it kind of feels like the wind has gone out of their sails, at least to a certain extent, after that second Penn State goal went in. They had a really nice response to the first goal 30 seconds in, but still waiting to find that response here in that second period.
Power play opportunity for the Terriers a few minutes ago that had a few great opportunities, but Penn State able to defend it off nicely in the end. Kiara Zanen giving chase behind the Terriers' goal. And TV with it now, giving way. It's Emma Wuthrich. Wuthrich feeds it forward. Here comes Parker. McKenna Parker goes down. This is going to be a penalty. I believe it's going to go on Penn State on Renee Gangarosa as she stood in there, taking Parker down. And the Terriers will make their way onto their second power play of the period and the game. 5:04 to go. They're trailing by a couple.
Well, we want to talk about Penn State forwards that have had some success. McKenna Parker has been the one that's had the success for Boston. She's been a catalyst all afternoon long. Scored a goal yesterday against Syracuse. She's really been making a lot happen down that right wing. And there, draws a penalty. Gives Boston a chance. They looked the best when they were on their power play earlier on in this game. You're absolutely right about that, Evan. So a chance to set up. Look to Ellie Larson here. This is a girl that's played a lot of games against Penn State, the RIT transfer. The only one that's really had experience against this Penn State roster. She made a lot happen on that first power play.
Gangarosa glides over to the sin bin. Terriers on their second power play of the game. 5-on-4 action. 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Calderon gives it up middle point to Mativi. She takes this pass, and now she'll send one right back over to Calderon. Back to Mativi. Here comes a high one-timer right into the paraphernalia of Josie Bobbin. Good save there. 4:49 to go, 1:46 on the power play.
And Mativi, the Italy native, has been outstanding at the point on these power plays for BU. She has a really powerful shot. You've already hit at it many times, but Boston has moved really well laterally in this game, as well as getting up and down to get these pucks.
It's no secret that they want to get some action from the points and try and find some traffic out in front for the Terriers. Now it's Vogt. She fishes one back to the point for Mativi. Gives it down to Donnelly, the captain. Donnelly looking for somewhere to go. Izzy Heminger plays that nicely, gloves it down. She's without a stick for the time being, so basically a 5-on-3. She's able to regain that twig, however, and now she has possession of the puck. How does that work out for her? 2-0 Penn State. 4:23 remaining in the period, 1:18, and Penn State gets the clear down. 1:14 left on the power play for Boston. They trail by a couple. Need to find something soon. They're skating up on the far side, able to gain past the players' benches into the attacking zone. Now a little bit of a horse collar play there by Wuthrich, able to keep possession, is Boston. Mativi at the point, looking for somewhere. She rips one. Bobbin never saw it. Now she's able to sprawl out on top of it, get the cover, and now we have some pushing and shoving out in front of the goal. Haven't seen that too much today. Both teams will come away, but it looks like we're going to get matching penalties here. 52 seconds remaining on the Gangarosa minor.
Boy, good play from Mativi once again, creating those chances. She buys her time, makes it look like she's going to drop it off at the faceoff dot, and then rips the shot, and it almost catches Boston out. He's able to corral it. And then the extracurriculars. The game's getting a little cagey now. So, coinciding minors. And it's going to give an opportunity for the officiating crew to settle things down a bit. It's Nearest and Lobdell in the box for their respective sides.
Teams will continue to skate 5-on-4 action in favor of the Terriers for 48 more seconds. Able to hold it in up there at the line with Gia Quinto. Nice play by her. She feeds it down low for McKenna Parker. Parker over to the other side. Larson at the near side point in front of Andre and myself. Gia Quinto looking for a little cross-ice pass to Wuthridge. It was unsuccessful. Now shot to the other side of the ice, giving chase there to Dobson. She's able to come up with it, and she'll get the clear. 27 seconds left. 3:30 in the period. Waiting behind her own cage and now taking off is Ellie Larson. Gives it over to her right on that far side. And now giving a dump and chase. Wuthridge on the chase, and she gets slammed up into the glass. She's going to be able to get back to her feet eventually here. That one stung her for a second as is cleared by Penn State. And the power play will come to an end for Boston. They're now 0 for 2 on it. Even strength, 5-on-5, Olivia Walleen behind the Boston Terrier goal. She gets pressed off the puck, though, by Gia Quinto. And Boston regains possession. Giving chase now is Parker. Hook for a second. She goes down. No call forthcoming. Offsides is the call for a second, but able to go the other way. Olivia Walleen over the near side blue line in the attacking zone. Had a goal last night. Shoots one outside of the parameters of the goal, but Shanahan gloves it anyway. 2:39 to go. 2-0 Penn State. Even strength. We're at.
Couple of stick taps from Lindy Lobdell, who's in the penalty box directly below us. Walleen, somebody still trying to find her groove coming back from injury. Had that goal right in front yesterday, but good shift from her, and one of those high percentage shots you want her to take from the face-off dot.
Top line for the Nittany Lions on the ice. They're going against the fourth line right now for the Terriers. Machado with the puck for Penn State. Heisen comes over to take it away from her. She's bumped off the puck just for a second, but able to get it back. She feeds it down low for Machado, but she lost it with her eyes, and now it is taken away. This pass is fed up nicely on the far side wing for Blinkhorn. Blinkhorn giving chase. She's going against Heminger. Heminger is going to win the battle on that one, but now she's going against two Terriers, able to feed it out nicely to her right to Kiara Zanin. This is still in the Penn State defensive end, giving chase. This one is punched up, and it stays in play. Now Natalie Heisen coming the other way, possible 2-on-1 with Machado. She's just going to outrun her defender, trying to shoot, and she goes down, but no call there. It stays out of the goal. She ran out of room on the near side. Coming the other way now are the Terriers. A little bit of a track meet. Nobody wants to stop. Over the line, DeVito. Still the fourth line as Boston's going to get a little bit of a line change here, getting 3 of the 5 skaters off. Ellie Larson coming over. She's the third line left winger. Kiara Zanin now behind her own goal. Leaves it there for Mallory Uline. The defender gives it up into the middle of the ice for Dobson. She's able to backhand it in to the attacking zone. Giving chase there is Calderoni. She's able to come around her own goal, but now she'll twirl back the other way, throw one off her own player's skate, and it'll go all the way down. Bobbin comes out, and at 1:19 remaining here in the second frame. 2-0 Nittany Lions still. Rachel Weiss with it. She'll pin it up against the boards for the time being on the far side near the face-off circle. Larson feeds it down low, past Botham to her left. No one there to put that home. Now Weiss up against the boards once more. Dobson able to get it off of her, and now Julie Goff goes down for the time being. Boston with possession of the puck. High off the glass and in there from Calderoni. Penn State able to get possession right back. Julie Goff has a little bit of room to skate here. She's over the attacking zone blue line. She shoots one down low, looking for a Dobson rebound attempt to put it home, but she couldn't. And on diving attempt. Now Rachel Weiss right out in front of the goal. Nobody there. Carly Garcia is going to try and give chase with the defender. The freshman puts it back in. 34 seconds to go in this middle period. 2-0 Penn State. Still on the far side in the attacking zone of the Nittany Lions. Olivia Walleen's getting harassed there by Foley. Now this one is shot right into the defender. This one is sent out there. That was Alex Allen, who stood right in front of her goaltender and took it like a champ. 16 seconds to go. Izzy Heminger behind her own cage. Now she brings it out. Gives it up to Maeve Connolly. That's where she wanted to go, but Olivia Walleen ends up with the puck. Back to Garcia. Boston able to deflect a pass right there. That was Liv Haig. And running out of time now, 3, 2, and 1 as the puck enters the Boston defensive zone. But that'll run out the period. Pretty fast-paced, intense period again there, Andre. 2-0 Penn State. They had an advantage last night heading into the third. What do they have to do tonight if they want to be able to hold on and get the consolation victory?
I think it's keep up the same level of aggression. And, there was a moment last night where Penn State really looked like they were running out of juice in that late on in the game, and it invited St. Cloud State back in. But with the momentum that they've been riding so far in this game, they've looked a lot sharper, a lot crisper. Continue that into the third period. It's going to be really hard for Boston, who's going to have to break their tactics here in this third period and probably be a lot more aggressive to get back into this game, and it's going to allow opportunities for Penn State should they keep up that aggression to even add more onto their lead and really keep Boston from playing that systematic hockey that they would like.
20 minutes to go. But first, we take a 15-minute intermission here. It's the second intermission at UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. It's the battle at the Burgh. Penn State has a 2-0 advantage over Boston University. This is Com Radio's coverage, and it's simulcast version today with How Hockey Live. Stay with us. We're about 14 and a half minutes away from period number 3. We'll be right back. Shanahan able to block her that one away. Penn State on the far side, Kiara Zanin has it taken away from her. Trying to chase it down now is nearer. She has McKenna Parker to her right. Over the attacking blue line, Parker looking for a shot off the side of the cage. Actually got a piece of the glove of Bothan. Crashing into the boards behind their own goal was Zanin. This is sent from a far distance away. High. That came from Ellie Larson, the grad student. Now Mativa. Mativi looking for somewhere to go. Right out in front of the goal. Penn State players all there. 4 against 1 in favor of the Nittany Lions compared to Terriers, and they're able to clear it out for the time being. Larson gives chase. Down all the way in her own end of things. 18:53 remaining here in this contest. In regulation, that is. 2-0 Penn State. Consolation game here in the battle at the Burgh. This one's sent in deep. Bobbin comes out to play it. She'll spoon it over here to the near side along the boards for Dobson, but it gets away from her. Back behind the cage one more time for Heminger. Heminger looking up, taken away there by Vogt for the Terrys. Huge body check there by Heminger on Vogt. And now Penn State able to go the other way. Here's Maeve Connolly looking for Amy Dobson. Dobson has it, and now she'll flick it into the attacking zone. Penn State will get a change in the back end. Dobson able to get a right back, though, for the Nittany Lions. Olivia Wallin in there on the forecheck as well for the women in blue. Ladies in white trying to come away with it, but cannot. So Penn State still retains possession. Sent back to the point by Weiss for Mitchell. Mitchell sends one that's deflected high. Will go off the high-rising glass, but not into the netting, so play will continue. Trying to get out of their own zone still is Boston. They are still unsuccessful at doing so. Now they have possession behind the goal as it's Fulham with it. And trying to break it out, they finally do. Here comes Donnelly. Donnelly sends it in. She's the captain of this squad, the senior. Avery Mitchell behind her own cage. Able to fend off Donnelly for the time being, but Donnelly still might have an opportunity to come away with it. But Boston will overall. Mativi has it, battling against Mitchell. She gets a couple of whacks from Mitchell, does Mativi. No call coming from Matt. Now trying to break it out, Julia Goff. She swings a stick, and it's getting a little chippy now as we are breaking into this third period. 7:21 remaining, 2-0 Penn State. Behind the Boston cage. Terriers have it. They'll break it out easily. On that far side, sprinting over the red line is Blinkhorn, but they'll skate in off sides. 17-12 to go.
Good start to this period by both teams, if that makes sense. Penn State's playing a very smart brand of hockey right now. They know when to be aggressive and wear down that Boston pressure, but also when to get back defensively, not try to bite off more than they can chew. Meanwhile, for BU, getting the puck out to their quick players on the flanks as well, but until they get that cross-ice movement going, it's not going to trouble Boston too much.
Face-off won by the Terriers. That was Lacey Martin getting the victory. Once again, the only multi-point scorer from yesterday's contest against Syracuse. Syracuse will play later against St. Cloud State right after this game in the championship game of the Battle at the Burgh. Now with possession of it, but coming off of her stick is Tamara Giaquinto. Penn State able to get possession in the attacking zone. Looking for somewhere to go with the puck is Mativi. Has nowhere for the time being, and now she'll just try and raise a backhand. Natalie Heising able to soccer that one, but now it gets away from her. The team's battling in the neutral zone right in front of the penalty box. Martin gets possession for the Terriers. Able to spoon it forward, and now getting it there is Blinkhorn. She rips a shot wide, nowhere close to getting on cage. Calderoni overskates it. Now Natalie Heising has a chance to go for the Nittany Lions. Off the outstretched stick, I should say, of Zanin, and Machado just plays it in deep. First line goes off the ice, and here comes the third. Finally comes forward. Now it's Olivia Wallin with an opportunity. A shot right into the shot right into the paraphernalia of the goaltender Shanahan, but it's sticked away towards the back glass. Now both teams still fighting out in front. No one able to put one home for Penn State. Still 2-0, 15:53 to go as battling continues in the attacking zone for Penn State. This one sent all the way around. Carly Garcia with it, trying to fling it down. She does to Wallin. Has Dobson right in the middle of the ice. She shoots one on the near side, but pinned up against that post there was Shanahan. Able to play that away nicely. Now McKenna Parker with it. Kind of goes back into traffic when it looked like she was able to ski right up the boards. Now she'll end up in that same territory, getting over the red line, and she'll dump it in deep. And she has a ton of speed. She's chasing after Botham behind the cage. Able to break up Botham's play attempt there behind her own net. But not able to come away with it as Izzy Heminger does now. 15:15 to go. Penn State up 2-0. 23-20 shots on goal in favor of the Terriers. This one rolls all the way down the ice, but right on goaltender Shanahan, and she'll have to play it. Fanning pass right there. Penn State's going to be able to take advantage of it. Here comes Rachel White. She has an opportunity feeding it forward for Carrie Burns, who had a shot right out in front, but it goes off her stick blade. A flurry of chances forthcoming right now for Penn State, but unable to put one home. DeVito plays one to the far side, still in their own end. Now shot all the way to the other side. It eludes Donnelly. Will go down for an icing as Avery Mitchell's the first one to get there. 14:43 to go.
Evan, let's rewind a little bit to that Olivia Wallin chance, because after it squeezed out of the paraphernalia of Shanahan, right down to her right, Maeve Connolly had a yawning goal mouth right in the blue paint. But what a block from Ellie Larson. She's a defender-turned attacker, and you can see why right there. Dove head first straight into the danger zone, blocked that puck. The only reason it's not 3-0 Penn State right now.
Larson transfer from RIT from Hutchinson, Minnesota. Face-off as Penn State's able to keep it in the offensive zone. Natalie Heising, fifth-year senior captain, still in there on the attack. Machado makes a nice play, though, over there on Giaquinto to get possession of the puck. Playing it at the point right now are the Lions. This one's fed down low. Kiara Zanin coming up with it. She's been excellent all season for Penn State. Gives it off here as now battling down low for that puck is Machado, but giving way for Zanin to chase it all the way down the other side of the ice. Still in the attacking zone is Penn State. Heising going against Giaquinto. Two of the top-tier players on either side. It's pinned up against the boards right in front of the Terriers players bench, and it comes out of the attacking zone for Penn State, and they'll have to regroup and go one more time. This one's flipped up high in the sky. Avery Mitchell gets it in, and now Penn State will get a full 5-person change. This one's poked away nicely there by Dobson. Olivia Wallin trying to squirt free for a breakaway opportunity. Mativi plays her nicely, and Wallin can only just put a little bit of a shot there into Shanahan's glove. Easy save there for Callie, the freshman.
This aggressive approach for Penn State is exactly what the doctor ordered, and is really helping them out here early on in this third period. When BU gets out of their own zone and can launch their own pursuit, they're so tired, they're only having these one-and-done shots because they have to go in for a change. Penn State's really wearing out BU early on in this frame, and it's led to them being able to control the tempo of play.
Terriers prevail off the face-off. Now they'll try to break it out of their own zone. They do successfully. Over the red line, going all the way down, there's Liv Haig. The freshman looking for someone to go. She gets absolutely rocked. This is going to be a penalty forthcoming on Maeve Connolly. No doubt about that one, as she skates the way a long way over here to the sin bin right in front of Andre and myself.
That's the style that the Terriers have played. The dump and chase, using their physicality, using their size along the boards, and it forces Penn State into its first mistake of this final frame. Connolly sits down, and now Boston will try to get something started on the power play.
Another opportunity on the power play step again will be Emma Wuthrich trying to gain possession for the Terriers. She's going against Zanin. Terriers win the draw. Back to the point now. Ellie Larson gives it over to Giaquinto. Quinto lets one ride to the net, and it goes wide to Bobbin's right. Now still on the near side, just outside the circle against the glass. Giaquinto gives it over to Larson. Larson feeds it down low there for McKenna Parker. Back to the point now, Larson. They're playing pitch and catch as Parker has it once more. Backside pass. Nice deflection there by Lindy Lobdell. Probably saved a wide open goal. 1:32 still remaining on the penalty kill for Penn State. Giaquinto gives it to McKenna Parker once more. Now skating over is Nearest. Nearest back to the point. Straight away there is Larson. She gives it down low, however. She receives the pass again from McKenna Parker. Giaquinto right at the top, at that blue line. This one's fed down low, but it's blocked nicely there by Kiara Zanin. Now Natalie Heising has an opportunity to clear, and she does so with ease, wristing it all the way down. Shanahan plays it, but she'll just leave it off for Larson in the end of things. 1 minute, 3 seconds remaining on the power play for Boston. 12:18 remaining in this third period. It's a 2-0 advantage for Penn State. Trying to break things out. Does not go smoothly there for Boston. This one comes back to Shanahan. She plays it, but it just skips off the top of her stick. And able to get possession of it is Dobson. Dobson still battling for a chance to get it. Donnelly's stick is slashed out of her hands. There's going to be no call there, as the captain was looking for one, but she doesn't get it. A nice move there by Christina Vogt to get the attacking blue. Mativa has it. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Mativi's still waiting. She shoots one off the crossbar. Went through a ton of traffic. Boston never saw that. Grazed off the top of the crossbar. Stays out. 22 seconds left on the power play. This goes over the stick of Mativi. She'll have to regain in the neutral zone. Donnelly, after everyone touches up, she's going to gain the blue here easily. Now she has a couple of Penn State defenders come up on her. This one's fed down low. Donnelly's got it from Fulham. Fulham was looking for the return pass, does not receive it. 7 seconds and still counting down here on the penalty kill for Penn State. Fulham looking for someone to go. Looks for a backside pass, but it's knocked away one more time. She was looking there for Calderoni making a drive towards the goal. Mativi has it. This power play is finished for the Terriers. Still looking to get on the board for the first time in this game. They trail 2-0. Olivia Wallina made Connolly 2-on-1 on the near side. Took a shot. Oh, nice save right there by Shanahan with the blocker. This one sent back to the point. Izzy Heminger with an opportunity. She tries to let one arrive, but it's blocked away nicely by Liv Haig. Fed down low, Weiss for Penn State. Shielded off nicely by Gia Quinto. Gia Quinto gives it back, and now going the other way now is Boston. Carly Garcia able to stymie that just for a second now. Rachel Weiss was coming off for a change regardless. Penn State loses possession for the time being. Nice pinch down low there by Heminger in the neutral zone. Penn State able to go the other way. Wally looking to feed it forward for Natalie Heising, but she was shielded nicely by 2 defenders. Zanin with the puck, and she's able to elude 3 defenders at once. Now gives it over to the far side or near side for Mitchell. She rips one on the near side, but misses it wide. Fed back down low again by Lobdell. Zanin tries to crash into the boards to keep that puck in. She does well enough. Mitchell has that one fed out in front, and now it scoots away back to the point again. Mitchell over to Lobdell. She receives it straight away. She tries to wrist one down low. Machado could not get a good deflection on Cage. 9:54 remaining, 2-0 Penn State. This one's ripped right into the stomach of Shanahan. Good save by her to keep this one at 2-0.
Another power play. Well, there's a couple of good chances for Boston. Boston has one flank off the iron. Another shot from Matibi. Ultimately not able to find the back of the net, and Penn State comes back 5-on-5, a couple of chances of their own.
9:50 to go, 2-0 Penn State. We'll step aside for a quick commercial break. You're listening here on Com Radio, simulcast on How Hockey Live. Coming down the home stretch now, the Terriers are in need of 2 at the moment as they trail by that score 2-0 with 9:50 to go. Penn State, at this portion of their game last night against the Huskies of St. Cloud State, had a 2-goal lead, 3-1, but blew it in the final 8 minutes and eventually fell in overtime. Penn State wins the face-off draw, but it's shielded off nicely. They're trying to go the other way is Nearest. Nearest has it taken away there by Renee Gangarosa, and that squirts free for Rachel Weiss. Coming right down Broadway, she gives it over to Julie Goff as they gain the attacking blue. Weiss in the far side corner looking for somewhere to go. She's pinned up against the boards there by Ellie Larson. Larson still in pursuit of her. Weiss has it. This one's poked right out in front, but a nice stick check there by Larson to keep it out of harm's way. Goff gives it back to the point. This one's ripped low by Mallory Uline, but never got fully onto goal. Gangarosa tries to keep this puck in. She does. Then now Goff floats one in deep. Larson will gain possession. Penn State's looking for a line change. 9:06 to go here in the third. 2-0 Penn State. McKenna Parker with possession of the puck as the Terriers are playing some pitch and catch in their own zone as they're going to finally break it out. Here we go. And now it's Vogt. She gets over the attacking blue, rips one right into Carly Garcia. Nice shot block there to keep things away from Josie Bava. Maeve Connolly with it, just fresh out of the penalty box. She should have some fresh legs. Now chasing this over here on the near side in front of myself and Andre Magaro is Izzy Heminger. Pinned up against the boards was Mativi. She was going against Garcia. This one's still in the near side corner. Both teams giving chase. No one able to gain any clear possession. Now Heminger tries to squirt one free, but it stays in. Mativi, a nice little backhand float. Dobson, she's been really excellent at getting the puck out of the zone here in the final half of this game. She does. It will, icing is waved off, and play will continue. Back for Avery Mitchell for Penn State. Gives it over to her partner in Lindy Lobdell. And that puck ends up getting lobbed out by Mitchell. Mitchell's going to have to give chase again. She has Mativi on her back. She gets checked from behind and goes down. This is going to be a penalty on Mativi. Penn State will go to the power play here with 7:55 to go and up a couple.
Yeah, Mativi's been so good this afternoon getting forward, trying to make something happen for this Boston team. As that clock continues to tick down, Evan, they have to get more and more aggressive. And that time, maybe even a bit of a frustration there, a push from behind trying to win a loose puck, trying to keep up that sustained wave of pressure. And what it does is it gives Penn State a chance to get a third goal here. The Nittany Lions, their last couple shifts, had really been reeling a little bit, getting the puck into the Boston end, but now a chance to sustain zone time on the power play.
Leaning in there is Kiara Zan, and she wins that face-off away from Blinkhorn. Boston on the penalty kill. It's been a little bit since they've been. Now to Zan, and she tries a one-time one in Ovechkin's office, but it's shielded away there by Shanahan. Square to it. This puck gets out of the zone. Madeline Uline trying to break it free. Now Heising does off the boards, and now sent all the way back into the Penn State defensive zone for Lobda. Gives it up to Zanin, racing down the ice on the near side. She gains the blue, tries to pirouette backwards, but Heising has it elude her on a pass from Zanin. Now this is going to be an easy clear here by Gia Quinto. And an opportunity with 1:19 remaining on the penalty kill for the Terriers to get a change. New quartet for them. 7:06 to remaining in the game in total. 1:08 on the power play for Penn State. They lead 2-0 over Boston. Uline feeds this to a vacant point, and it scoots off the boards and out. Heminger was giving chase. She couldn't get into the zone in time. She was fresh off the bench. She's met now by Renee Gangarosa, her partner in crime for the time being. Olivia Walleen in on the chase. Penn State finally gains possession in the attacking zone. Renee Gangarosa feeds one cross ice for Dobson. Gets away from her. Dobson back to the point. Looking to switch spots with Gangarosa is Heminger. She does. She rips one low, but this one is shot back out there by Calderoni. Flipped up and out of the attacking zone of Penn State through the Terriers on that play. Gangarosa has it. Tries to get a return feed there from Dobson. Does not. This one is launched down high off the glass. Josie Bobbin comes out to field it. 17 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for the Terriers. 6:07 remains in this contest. Penn State over the red line. Julie Goff gets in, and Penn State is offside. That was Carrie Burns, just a step too soon. Exactly 6 minutes remaining. Exactly 6 seconds left on the penalty.
Penn State hasn't really created too much on this power play in terms of scoring chances other than the Zanin one-timer at the beginning. But what they have done is they've been responsible. Big shorthanded goal from BU yesterday to get them back in the game with Syracuse. They're not giving up any of those chances on this power play. They're taking their time and eating up that clock.
Penn State retreats to their own defensive end to corral the puck, and Mativi is sent free from the sin bin. This one rattles off the side glass, and it's going to be a stoppage of play. 5:48 to go here in period number 3. Besides having an equal amount of shots on goal, it's the closest differential you can have, 23-22 in favor of the Terriers. Jeff Cam Purcell looking for an explanation about where the faceoff is going to be dropped. I believe it's going to be dropped right in front of the Penn State players' bench, right outside their defending blue. Whistles go back and forth. Fulham leans in against Weiss. Weiss wins it for Penn State. Lobdell looking for somewhere to go with it. She finds right in the middle of the ice. Julie Goff has the opening goal for Penn State in this game. Carrie Burns out there. Now Goff has it. Tries to feed it out in front. Shanahan thought it went off her backside. Now it's a shot on cage right there from Mitchell, but it's steered away by Shanahan. 5:26 to go. Becoming do or die time for Boston. Blinkhorn feeds it in, and now Donnelly has to give chase. Lobdell beats it to the puck, however, but it skitters away from her stick. Does Lobdell. Did not look like she was trying to make that pass over to Machado, even though she was the first one to get to it. Battle of number 11s over there as it's McKenna Parker with possession on Kiara Zanin. Zanin has her woman get away from her. Now a rip on cage. Gets off of Bobbin, but stays in play. This one ripped all the way down, though, and icing will be called. 4:56 to go.
Penn State continues to bide its time. They had a sustained shift in the BU end, but weren't reluctant at all to go in for a change. They're keeping bodies fresh, getting new lines on the ice, and to eat up that wave of BU pressure as the game goes on. Let's see how aggressive BU gets here with pulling the goaltender. Still plenty of time left at 4:56, but we saw St. Cloud State, the Penn State matchup last night. Desperate very early, pulled their goaltender inside of 4 minutes, and potentially a timeout here to talk that strategy for the Terriers.
The timeout being taken. We'll wait to see who. Timeout taken by Penn State as we just received word. And I mean, yeah, the fantastic back and forth action we've seen in all 3 games up to this point in this tournament here at Battle at the Burgh. They've all come down to the final minutes, seconds, and Boston's not out of this one yet, Andre.
No, not at all, but I'll tell you who's out of it. San Jose Sharks. Just went over the loudspeaker, first intermission, 6-0 Penguins. So something that most of the locals here can get excited about. But as for these two teams, Boston's certainly not out of this one. They've been able to create a lot here. You can tell that from the parity in the shots on goal category. And I think Jeff Campersall there delivers a message to his team. Hey, remember what happened last night. Have that in the forefront of your mind, making decisions here in these final 5 minutes or so. This team's highly motivated to see out this result.
Both coaches in this game in the top 10 in wins in women's college hockey overall. Face off on the far side in the Penn State end. They win it. Machado has it. She feeds it over to Natalie Heisen. Shanahan still in goal. Heisen gets over the blue line on the near side looking for a cross-ice feed to Machado. It was out of her reach. Back to the point. Mallory Uline lets one rip. Tipped there by Zanin, but it was a weak one that just fluttered back into the boards, wide of the goal. Now going the other way now are the Terriers. Wuthridge looking to avoid Gangarosa. She does. Uline's on top of her now. Some fresh skaters coming on the ice for Boston. Shanahan still in goal. Both teams battling back and forth. Machado almost had a chance to get a partial breakaway. Big check right in front of that Penn State bench. Now she returns a cross check high on Machado. And that puck went all the way down for a nice 4:15 to go.
Yeah, Heising wasn't able to get on the end of that one, so another offensive zone draw for BU. Still looming over towards Zach Ole, seeing what Shanahan will do. She's still staying put. There's still 4:15 left. There's still plenty of time here for BU to try to get a goal back, even strength.
Lacey Martin reaches in against Kiara Zanin. Martin wins it. Now Matsivi has a shot that is deflected right in front of Bothan. Had no time to react, but it just went over that crossbar. Now coming the other way is Penn State. Heising dumps it in deep. Penn State wants to get a line change, get fresh bodies out there. Mativi corrals that one behind her own cage. Over to DeVito. She turns it over to Olivia Wallin, who's been pretty good at getting some takeaways in the second half of this game. Maeve Connolly crashing in now, trying to get some offense started. 3 against 2 in favor of the Terriers. They come away with it. Now, out of their own zone, it's Vogt. Finding the blue line of Penn State. She just dumps and chases it. Izzy having her back first, though, for Penn State. It goes off the stick of DeVito, staying in for the time being, but now Penn State able to get it out of their own end. Wallin with it in the Terrier and gives it up forward for Dobson. She has no opportunity to put a shot on goal. She had a step there on Gia Quinto and couldn't get it in. Mitchell feeds one down low. Wallin pinches the puck against the glass and has it fall right onto her stick. Opportunity now for Penn State. Goes by the wayside as Boston breaks right back out. Terriers over the attacking blue line. Goalie still staying put now as we're approaching 3 minutes remaining in this contest. 2-0 Penn State. That eludes multiple sticks, but Mativi was in the area. No icing will be called here on Penn State. Calderoni has it go off the stick there of Fulham, but Penn State was trying to break it back in. Was Carrie Burns on that play, but an offside call. 2:54 to go.
Still plenty of time here for Boston, but trying to buy their time in the zone. Penn State stayed aggressive on the forecheck. Big face-off here upcoming.
Puck dropped. Terriers win. Now trying to get it out of their own zone. It bounces just in front of the players' bench as a big body check happens in front of that Terriers bench. Lobdell came in, crashing in on Nearest. The play was blown dead. No penalty coming forth there. There's going to be a drop right at center ice on top of the Pittsburgh Penguins logo. 2:44 to go. Puck drop. Carrie Burns giving chase for Penn State against McKenna Parker. As it's dumped in deep, Bothan leaves behind her cage for Mitchell. Mitchell can only play it weakly there for Nearest. Nearest looking for the puck. She lost it in her skates, and now a big collision. It'll stay 5-on-5 action. No penalty going to be called there. Now trying to go the other way. Empty net now for Boston. As an offsides call is coming forth. McKenna Parker, there was a lot going on right there. McKenna Parker broke in offsides. Callie Shanahan has been pulled with 2:17 remaining in the contest, but the faceoff will come outside the Penn State blue line.
Just an offsides there, but the intensity certainly has come up a couple notches as Shanahan heads back in goal, so it's 5-on-5 once more. But you can see the sense of urgency right now from this Boston side. And they'll look to take that with them here moving forward. A big face-off. Penn State and Zanin have been really good in that category today.
Wuthridge looking to win it, and she does, but it scoots away from Mativi. Remember, her goal is filled right now with Shanahan. Mativi going all the way back, and she blows it higher right into the boards, but she's able to retain possession somehow. Heising feeds it out right in front for Zanin. This shot, I should say, is blocked away. Machado with it, looking for somewhere to go. She's being harassed right there by Mativi. Able to gain possession for the time being. Donnelly chasing it down, but it just eludes her by a half step. Uline keeps it in. Zanin looking for somewhere to shoot. She does, right into the glove hand of Shanahan. A little bit more pushing and shoving in front of the Terriers' goal. 1:47 to go, 2-0 Penn State.
And not much there for Kiara Zanin to shoot at, but Carrie Burns getting up in the slot forces Shanahan to cover the puck, and that leads Penn State getting this offensive zone draw, able to bide more time and keeps Boston from being aggressive as they'd like here in these last 2 minutes.
Penn State looking to move to 11-7-2. Terriers trying to find a way miraculously to come back here in the last 1:46. They're 9-6-4 on the year. Out of conference, Penn State is 6-5-2. Terriers 1-2-1. Buck drop, Gangaros is going to be able to get possession for Penn State, just dumps it into the far side corner, just trying to bleed this clock out. This one's fed forward. Terriers trying to make a rush. They're going to pull Shanahan once more. Uline looking to gain possession of it. She's behind GLE, and now she gets smashed into the boards. Terriers with possession. Fed back to the point. Gia Quintino to the other side now for Nearest. Larson. Quinto gets it once more. Martin has it now. Looking for somewhere to go with the puck. Feeds it right into the middle of the ice, but no one's there. Now a chase for the puck. Fulham's able to shield off Wallene. Terriers regain possession with that empty net. 6-on-5 right now with just over a minute to go. We're about to get the 1-minute announcement now. This one is shot into a pair of bodies. Looking for someone to go. Mativi dancing down below the right circle. This one shot right out in front for Nera. She gets body checked hard. She had the puck right on her stick, right out in front of the goal. Now a shot right into the paraphernalia of Bob, and she's able to cover it up right in front. Tough to see who that was. She's going to pop to her feet now, and that's Fulham that had the opportunity one-on-one with Bothan, but Bothan stones her.
In tight, Josie Bothan, another really solid game in goal for Penn State. Was excellent in the New Hampshire series leading into this. She continues to make her mark in the Penn State record books. A big chance there for Fulham. Just can't quite find the back of the net. It's been one of those afternoons for BU. They've had a lot of high-quality chances. They're just not dropping for them right now. Boston's going to take their time out, try to talk strategy right here in the last 48 and a half. Evan, I got to think, from a BU perspective, probably what they're talking about over there, winning the draw cleanly and getting a good look at goal from Mativi.
Yeah, they're gonna set up a play right here, probably for someone with a big shot, like you were mentioning, Mativi. And we'll just have to see. It has to be something quick, a set play.
That's kind of been the MO for BU at times with offensive zone draws, getting the puck to Mativi, getting traffic in front of Boston. We've seen a lot of wicked deflections, a lot of high-rising slap shots from Mativi in this game that have troubled Josie Boston. A couple caught the crossbar, caught the post, missing by very fine margins. You get that net front traffic, and you can let that howitzer fly. Who knows where it's going to go, and there's a pretty good chance with Mativi's accuracy and power, deflection could catch the back of the net. Boston needs to score quickly with under a minute to go to get that chance at that second goal.
The faceoff will be to Josie Bothan's right on the far side circle, leaning in Zanin. She going against Wuthridge. Wuthridge able to win it pretty cleanly. Back to Mativi. She'll let one fly, but it's blocked out nicely by Zanin. Now Heising trying to race forward. She has a couple of women in front of her looking for Zanin with the yawning cage. She's pushed below GLE, however, with no opportunity to try and get one on goal. Heising right out front. Now it's fed out in front for Zanin. She puts it home. Empty net goal for Kiara Zanin with 30.2 seconds to go. That's 3 for Penn State, and they are going to win this consolation game against the Terriers.
Top line starts it 30 seconds in. Top line ends it with 30 seconds left. Poetic ending for Penn State. Kiara Zanin extends that point streak to 6 games now, matching a career high from earlier this season. Not much to say there. Penn State, an aggressive side, and they've seen out this result much better from start to finish from last night.
Puck drop with just under 30 seconds to go. Izzy Heminger with it. And now it's turned away. And Vogt takes a huge check there from Heminger. No call forthcoming. Carly Garcia behind her own net feeds it over to Carrie Burns. She's able to break away from Connolly. Giaquinto back at the point, pinching in. looking for someone to go with under 10 remaining. This one's redirected away from Bobbin, wide of the cage, however. Vogt just pokes it forward. This one's sent out. Shanahan back in goal, but she won't have to come back. This game is over. Well, Penn State able to find a 3-0 victory after falling in overtime last night against St. Cloud State. The Terriers will fall, not scoring a single goal in this one, as they will fall to 9-7-4. Penn State, on the other hand, will move to 11-7-2. Andre, what are your last takeaways from tonight's game?
From a Boston perspective, maybe a weekend to forget, but somebody had to lose the 2 games. Despite the scoreboard, it's not going to tell the whole tale. They were really good going forward. They had a lot of high-quality chances and really showed a lot of heart in that Syracuse matchup as well. They can take that with them back into Hockey East play. But for Penn State, huge momentum-boosting win. Flips the script from what you can take out of this weekend after last night, and they can take that now going forward. Just looking at Penn State's schedule coming up, that huge out-of-conference clash with Cornell coming up on the 11th at Pagola, before they get into a couple of CHA series, or they'll fancy themselves. They're on the road against RIT and Lindenwood, teams they historically have been really good against and have already enjoyed success against this season. Then at the end of January, Mercyhurst comes to town. With the absence of Robert Morris this season, it's really a 3-horse race in the CHA between Syracuse, Penn State, and Mercyhurst. All of those games are important, and while Penn State didn't get a non-conference shout at Syracuse today, they know how important that series is, and they'll look to continue building momentum going into that series at the end of January. But I want to thank the audience here on How Hockey Live as well as Com Radio, and for all the BU parents and fans that might have tuned in. Probably the last we see of you this season. Wishing you guys success moving forward. But have another broadcast crew filling in for the next game. Normal crew couldn't make it today, feeling under the weather. Hope they're feeling better. We appreciate the audience we got today, and hope you all enjoy the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely. Same regards from me. Penn State, as Andre alluded to, has Cornell next on Tuesday, January 11th, 6 p.m. at Pagola. Boston next takes on Boston College in Chestnut Hill, Friday, January 7th at 7 p.m. That'll just about do it here for us at UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex, home of the Pittsburgh Penguins practice facility. Final score, Penn State 3, Boston University 0. For Andre Magaro, I'm Evan Palace. You've been listening on Com Radio, a simulcast on How Hockey Live. It's been a pleasure to be in front of you all today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and hopefully your 2022 has started off on the right foot. We'll talk to you guys soon.